Hello beautiful people and welcome to this week's video. My name is Philippa. I teach in Mid Wales in the UK. If you like what I'm doing and you would like to actually come and do some yoga with me, then I will be offering an online class after the new year, or in the new year of 2025. So if you'd like to join in with that, then you can contact me via the email at the beginning and the end of the video. Also, if you like what I'm doing but you're not subscribed to me, then please do that. Give me a thumbs up if that's something that you'd like to do, and making a comment, of course, is always amazing. So this week we're going to be going over a lot of what we've done over the last few weeks and kind of bringing it all together. So it might be useful to have a yoga belt or a dressing gown cord and possibly a block or maybe a book. So get those together if you think that you would like to have them. And we're going to begin by just tuning into the breath. So breathing gently in and out through the nose and bringing the attention into the air, moving in and out from and to the nose. And we're going to imagine a beautiful green light in the heart space and a thread moving up through the head, out through the crown chakra and up to the sky, and a thread moving down from the heart all the way down through the body, through the root chakra and down into the earth star in the centre of the earth. So we're just going to take a couple of moments breathing there, being with this beautiful green light at the heart, and these threads raising us up and rooting us down. Lovely. So now I'm going to invite you to come and lie down on your back. So just dropping down onto your back with your knees bent, heels behind the bottom, palms of the hands down by the sides of the body, and we can look up at the knees, make sure that they're directly above the hips, and then we're just going to take a couple of pelvic tilts, so just dropping the lumbar spine down to the ground on the exhale. Mula Bandha, that's the muscles of the pelvic floor, and then as you inhale, releasing. Do that once more. Mula Bandha on the exhale, and then coming back to the natural shape. This time we're going to do that once more, Mula Bandha, and on the inhale we're going to bring the arms up and over the head to open the chest. Lovely. So then we're going to exhale, Mula Bandha, everything down, and then on the next inhale I'm going to invite you to bring one foot, it doesn't matter which one, and put it on top of the knee, on the ankle, on top of the knee, with the side of the foot there, so that you've got the sole of the foot shining out to the side. We're going to push the hand onto that top knee, opening the hip there. Beautiful. And then we'll just swap over and do that on the sides, on the other side. So cross the other leg over, pushing away on that knee, just gently opening the hip. Lovely. So we're going to come back to neutral spine. Now this is where you might need a belt, so if you want one, get one now. So if you're using a belt, then you've got it round the foot that's going to be on the bottom, and see if you can have straight arms here, so you're holding the belt as close up to the knee as you can, straight arms. Lift the other leg up to be on the top, and then we're going to just see if we can raise this foot up without pulling on the belt to start with, but if you need to yank on the belt, then doing that, trying to keep your arms as straight as you can. So if you're using a belt, you're doing this. If you don't need a belt, and you can bring your fingers around the back of the knee, that's great. Or some people can even take it to the front. And just breathing here. As you exhale, Mula Bandha, just seeing if you can relax, opening the hips. And then we'll drop down, just change the belt over to the other side if you're using it on the other side. Same thing. So see if you can raise that foot up without using the belt or the hands to begin with. And then once you're there, you can grab hold if that works for you, making sure you keep the head down, shoulders relaxed. You can feel how this opens the hip there. Beautiful. And then coming back to your semi-supine. So getting rid of the belt if you were using it. We're going to bring the arms out to shoulder height, dropping the knees down one way, looking over the other arm, taking a moment there to breathe. Inhaling, remembering the Mula Bandha on the exhale, and looking along the other arm. So we're going to do that again. You can either do it just as you were, or if you want to cross one leg over the other, making it a little bit stronger, but just make sure that you're doing what's right for you. And then when you come back up to the top, crossing over the other way. Beautiful. And then coming back to semi-supine. So from here, I'm going to invite you to come up, and we're going to come into a sitting position like this. So we've got the feet out in front of us, hands behind the body, and we're just going to do some windshield wipers, which is what they call it in America. We call it windscreen wipers. So going from side to side, twice each way. And then we're going to come back to the first way, but we're going to see if we can take the legs all the way over. I'm kind of moving my feet a bit. I'm going to come up on this back hands to see if I can actually drop the legs right down. Now you might not be able to do this. You might be there, just going to where you can. So we're in a bit of a sort of swash sticker shape here. And then coming back to the other side. So again, I need to lift this, come up onto my fingertips to bring that knee down. And then we're going to go back to the first side, but we're going to do something a bit more from here. So we're going to bring this hand off in our bit of a swash sticker position here. This hand is down on the mat behind. We're going to raise this arm up, looking up at the arm, and only if it feels okay to you, you can lift the hips. And from here we're shining the throat and the heart and the solar plexus forwards. And then coming down, and we're going to roll all the way over to the other side. So just finding your way, being very careful. I've got a bit of a sore knee today, so I'm having to be careful. And then raising the arm up. And again, only if it works for you, coming up. And then coming back down again and finding your neutral position. So from here, we're going to come to all fours. I always recommend padding the knees. So as I said, I've got a little bit of a sore knee today. So I'm going to grab my soft block to bring onto the mat. So coming into all fours, you could have a blanket if that was good. And we're going to have really sun ray fingers here. And we're just going to do a little bit of cat, and some people call it cow. So inhaling, taking the spine to this floor, and looking forward. So you're really feeling this stretch in the front of the body. Exhaling, taking the spine to the ceiling. Couple more of those. On the inhale, make sure you're not just dumping the tummy down, but feeling this beautiful stretch in the muscles there. Lovely. Then last exhale with the Mula Bandha, and we're going to come back to a neutral spine, and then from here we're going to take one foot out behind. Just, we're not raising it right up, just taking it out behind and really stretching through the heel of that foot, so that's opening the hamstring a little bit. And then we'll drop down and do that on the other side, so reaching through the heel of that foot. Going to come back to the first side, and again, so we're going to do something else now, and I'm going to invite you, if you've got a belt, to make a loop in the end of it and put it over your foot, and then bring it up over the opposite shoulder. So you might not need to have a belt, but if you do want to have one, then do that. So we're back in our all fours position. Instead of taking the foot out behind, we're going to just raise it up. So grab hold of the belt so that the loop doesn't fall off your foot. So we've got the foot lifted up here, and then from here we're going to bring the opposite hand round, and you might take hold of the belt, or if you're a bit more flexible than that, then maybe you can grab hold of the foot. So then we'll come down again. Let's come through the toe squat. So this is tucking the toes, coming back, sitting on the heels if that's accessible to you. If not, then rising up. And while we're here, we can swap the loop over to the other foot, bringing that over the opposite shoulder, just like we did before, coming forwards and coming into your all fours. So raising that foot up, making sure the loop doesn't come off it, raising the foot up, and then opposite hand round, grabbing either the belt or the foot, and the idea is to look round, see if you can look at your foot. So it is a balance as well, but it also opens the front of the thigh there. Lovely. And then from here we can take the legs wide and come back into our child. Great. So we're now going to come round and do the lion's breath. So get rid of your belt, but if you've got a book or a block or a big cushion or something, and you're comfortable to sit like this, so I'm sitting on top of the block, if that's comfortable for you, this is the best position to do it in. If not, then you can always sit on a chair or sit cross-legged or do whatever's best for you. So the lion's roar is really wonderful for opening the throat, but you do need to be careful of the throat, so just make sure that you're doing what's right for you. So we've got the hands on the knees. We're going to open the mouth and the eyes really loud, wide like that, but we're going to stick the tongue out as well. And as we're doing that, we're going to lean forward and take the hands forward as if they're claws like this, and we're going to make a roaring sound. So I'll do it 4 times, you can do it 3 times. So watch me the first time and then join in. So breathing in. So join in with me now. Being careful of the throat. Last time. And then coming back, close the eyes or lower the gaze and just come into a quiet, gentle breath, feeling the effects of your practice. So from here, I'm going to invite you to come and lie down on your front. So we're going to come into a Sphinx. So come with your elbows directly underneath the shoulders. Sun ray fingers, they're like lion's claws, really splayed out. And we are looking forward. So just doing your best here to raise your chin. And then we're going to inhale and exhale. Just be aware of the place in the solar plexus where you can feel the body moving away and towards the earth on the breath. So the next time we exhale, I'm going to invite you to turn your head in one direction. It doesn't matter which. Try and keep your chin up. And then as you inhale, come back to the centre and exhale again the other way, wherever you can go to. And it may be very different on one side to the other. Then we're going to come down, we're going to bring the hands underneath the shoulders like this. And you see I've got the elbows, so not the elbows, no sticking out, sticking up, head down onto the floor. And from here, we're going to inhale. And as we inhale, no weight in the hands, lifting up to a cobra. Try and keep your feet on the floor. Exhaling down. The next time we do it, we're going to take a little bit of weight into the hands, just a little bit, raising up. See if you can come a little bit higher, still keeping the feet on the floor. Exhaling down. And then this time we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to have the hands behind. So we're coming into a half locust. So we've got the palms of the hands down beside the body. We're going to inhale, lifting the arms and lifting the front of the body, feet down, and exhale. Beautiful. Then we're going to bring the hands underneath the forehead, take the feet out to the sides in the crocodile, and just jiggle the hips from side to side for a moment, resting. Take some sighs out. So from here, we're going to find our way backwards. So coming backwards, and we're going to come again into our toe squat. So again, if this isn't any good for you, you can be up like this. But if it's okay for you, then we can just be here with really stretching the undersides of the toes. Then we're going to come briefly through the dog, so taking the hands into a really nice long cat like this. Toes are tucked. We're going to raise the bottom up, keeping the knees nice and bent, and also seeing if you can drop the heels. From here we can take a little bit of a walking the dog, so one heel dropping and then the other for twice each way or whatever you want to do. And then we'll try and come back into a little bit of a sort of still-ish position. And then there's a choice here, so you can raise one foot up, and if you feel that you can do it, seeing if you can bring that foot through. Now, if that doesn't work for you, then rather than doing that, you can come through and then bring the foot through. Now, what I didn't say was that I always like to pad the knee. So if you've got a pad and you want to do it, do that. We're going to lunge forward. Hopefully you can still see my head. Raising the arms up, so my arms are out of the picture, but you can see the rest of me. And then bringing the hands together in front of the heart. And then we're going to turn. So I'm going to turn to face you, but keeping the hips facing forwards. And then I'm going to see if I can come over to the side. So I'm kind of got my elbow against the inside of this leg, and then I'm going to open my arms. Sorry about my top arm being off the screen. And then only if you want to from here, tucking that back toe and, oh, I don't know that I can do it actually. Lifting that top leg and looking up. And then coming down gently and having another rest. So if you're using a pad, have it nearby. We're going to do the other side. So coming into your long cat, lifting up the bottom. Just have a moment there, doing whatever feels good for you. Raising up the other foot. And again, doing whatever you want to do. I find it harder to get this foot through, but I can just about do it. And then I'm going to put my pad in its place, dropping down a moment in the dragon, and then coming up, lunging forwards, raising up the arms, hands coming together in front of the heart, and then I'm twisting away from you, sorry about that, coming down. I've got my elbow on the inside of this knee, opening the arms, and then only if it feels appropriate for you, lifting that back knee, coming into a twisty lunge and dropping back down, and having a rest in whichever position suits you. So I'm going to invite you now to come and find a comfortable seat. Now that might be in a chair, it might be sitting cross-legged, it might be sitting how we were just a minute ago with a block. So just doing whatever's right for you. We're going to come and I'm going to just explain to you the Brahmari breathing that we're doing, which is the bee breath. And then I'm going to invite you to stop the video, practice it and then come back again. So the Brahmari breathing is basically humming, but I like to teach it where we moisten the lips, so you just lick the lips a little bit. And if you just practice a little hum now with your teeth slightly apart, you can feel the vibration on the lips, so it really helps you to really tune into the bees, which is what this is about. Now, if you just take your index fingers and just put them on the front, just at the front of the ears, just where the cheeks start at the front, you'll feel that little flap of skin that is there. So if you press that in, just don't do it for long, but if you press it in now and then take them off again, you can feel how that completely blocks the ears. So it's a really good way of blocking the ears without sticking your fingers in the ears. So you can do that either with your fingers or with your thumbs. If you do it with your thumbs, then you can also bring your fingers over your eyes. And the idea of that is that it just takes all the senses out. And then all you're going to do is you're simply going to breathe in and then breathe out with a hum. So just practice it once with me, just 1 or 2 breaths. Beautiful. So I'm going to invite you now to pause the video, practice that breath for a few minutes and really try and see if you can tune into the bees with the moistened lips. And then when you feel like you've had enough, then start the video again and join in with me. Lovely, so I hope you enjoyed your breathing practice. And so we're just going to do a couple more poses before we come down for the relaxation. So starting just in Tadasana, so feet hip width apart, pointing forwards, just roll the shoulders back to make sure you're standing up nice and tall, and just really enjoying this beautiful sense of being here. So looking slightly down, just being aware of the breath, rooted through the floor, rising up through the crown. Lovely. So we're going to work a little bit with the dancer pose. Now if balance is difficult for you, it's really good to just have a wall, like I've got here, next to you, or you can always have a chair or a table or something. Just work with whatever you've got near you. Now in this pose, it might be a good idea to have a belt, and I would suggest having one anyway, whether or not you're going to use it. So we've got the loop around the foot like we had before, but this time we're using the same hand as foot instead of the opposite one. So come and stand in your Tadasana, just holding on to the belt there. And if you need a wall, hold on. Okay, we're going to, so I'm standing to the side so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to simply take my weight over into the foot that's not got the belt in it. And then bring that foot, so I'm just going to put it like this to start with. Okay, I've got my belt on it, I've just got my toes on the ground, and I'm going to take the other hand out in front. Now, this is a very modified version of the dancer. So if this is what you want to do, then fine. If this feels like it's a good balance for you, then that's fine. Remembering to keep the standing leg slightly soft, so you're not sort of, you know, try and be quite relaxed in the lower leg. Now if you want to try and come to the balance, then you can simply see if you can use the belt to lift yourself up. Now I actually find that the belt is quite good for me because it can help me to actually come properly into the shape here of the dancer. I mean, I can take hold of the foot, but then I fall over. But also then I don't quite have the shape in the same way as when I use the belt. So, you know, and we're not doing that, by the way. Don't take the foot out, the knee out to the side, keeping the knee going backwards. So I've got this nice mudra here, which you can do. This is the chin mudra, thumb and forefinger, and just coming down when you're ready. So it may be that you were able to grab hold of your foot, and if you did, and that was good, then that's great. But if you're using the belt, that's also great. You know, it's really good to do what's right. I mean, some days I would be grabbing hold of the foot, but to be honest with you, today my knee's a bit sore, you know, so I'm looking after myself. So here we go, starting in Tadasana again. Making sure standing up nice and tall, cord coming out of the top. We're going to then take the weight over into the non-belted foot and bring the belted foot out behind, just being on the tips of the toes there. She says nearly falling over, that's why I've got my wall. And then here we are coming into our, this is a very modified version. And then if you want to try the balance, raising up that foot, using the belt if you're using it, and then we're leaning forwards and taking the other hand out behind, and just doing what you can. I mean, here I feel like it's a bit easier for me this side. Beautiful. Breathing, and then gently dropping the foot down. Ah, well done everybody. Right, we're going to come and lie down now for the counter poses and the relaxation. So I'm going to invite you to come into semi-supine with the heels behind the bottom. We're going to inhale, and as we inhale, pressing the feet into the ground, lifting up the hips, bringing the arms up behind the head if you want to, and coming back down again. So just doing a couple of bridges. So inhale, lifting the hips, curling up the tailbone, bringing the hands out behind, or if you want to, you can come up and down, do it dynamically, or you can stay there if you want to, or you can even bring the hands down and interlace the fingers underneath the body. Couple of breaths there. Beautiful. And then I'm just going to invite you to come down, grab your knees, bring them up into the body, have a little rock from side to side. You might want to come into a happy baby either with the hands behind the knees or the hands onto the feet if this works for you. Again, having a little rock from side to side. Wonderful. And then so just do whatever you need to do. Coming down, we're going to take the arms out to the sides with the palms of the hands facing up. Feet out to the side, just let the feet do whatever they want to do. Dropping down. Taking a nice big breath in and out today, maybe the biggest breath you've taken all day. And then letting go, nothing to do, nothing to think about. Most important pose of the whole practice. Just being here gently, gently, gently. So staying here as long as you like, don't feel like you have to move, because I do. The music will go on for quite some time at the end. So do feel more than welcome to stay and be with the music. So if you're still lying down, please do stay and just listen to the music. Enjoy the gentle sounds of the music for as long as you want to. But if you're up and you want to get on, thank you so much for joining me. I so appreciate your support. Thank you so much for everybody who's been donating. It means a lot. And if you would like to donate, then you can contact me via the email at the beginning or end of the video, and I'm happy to give you details of how to do that. But thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. Namaste.